Yeah. So did you miss us?
Sorry?
Did you miss us?
Of course.
Oh gosh. Okay, what is going on exactly? How comes you're letting in the guest before you let the host in?
You wasn't there to let in.
I've been sitting there since 1:45.
Oh well, yeah, but you didn't show up to admit you in when I first came on. Yeah,
It's okay. It's all right. Whatever you and Anita have got going on, you can keep it.
we got a good thing going.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Are you still in JA, Sugar?
No, I'm in the UK now.
Oh.
Can't keep up with her, innit?
Yeah, I came back on Saturday because I've got my book launch on Monday.
Oh, okay.
Don't mean to cut your conversation, but our guest is here.
Oh, hello, our guest.
Hello, ladies.
All women are sitting there while you look lava yabba. Hi Naiomi, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How is everyone?
Very
I'm
well.
excellent. I cannot see UK Fluffy Chick and I cannot see Naiomi. Neither of you turned your cameras on.
Our cameras are on.
Anita, can you see them?
I can see them. I haven't got my camera on because I'm eating.
Yeah, that's fine because I can see your picture. Well, it must be my end then. You're both blank, just blank screens. It's okay, we can carry on.
So anyway, so we have Naiomi, right? We haven't officially started or anything yet. So
okay, cool.
We was all nibbling. Well, me and Anita. Anita is one of our regular attendees and our loyalist, and so we were just nibbling and stuff. So we are a few minutes a little bit behind our schedule, but that's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah. So right. So we just jump straight into it then, Sugar.
Yes, of course.
Okay, well, let's start with the intro then.
Oh, sorry. Hello, everyone, and thank you for coming. My name is Yasmin Euphemia, aka Sugar, and I'm here tonight with.
And I am Beverly. I'm your UK Fluffy Chick, and together we are the founder Sis-Stars of Supporter Sis-Star Network, which is a networking community where we try to showcase. Well, not try. The aim is to showcase, the things that people are doing, or the products, goods, services, or just a pivotal moment in life that they want to share with our networking community. And we do this now via our from inspiration to innovation series. Right. So each week we showcase somebody new. Before I start, anyone that's attending, if we could keep our mics on mute. As a matter of fact, you know what? I skipped one vital step. I'm so sorry. Because sometimes we have the Zoom gremlins. So I usually like to have our co-host in case anything should happen. Anything should happen. Sorry, Naiomi.
It's okay.
So that if anything should happen and one of us gets booted off, someone is still around to keep it going, right? Okay, so this evening with us, we have Naiomi Wilson. Let me tell you a little bit about Naiomi Wilson. So she's the co-owner of Slay Your Xperience and Carnival Slayers. She has been the driving force in the media industry since 2017. Over nearly a decade, yes, but she doesn't even look that old. She has scaled her brands to incredible heights, working with an elite roster of clients that includes Sky Television, Naiomi Global Tourism Board, just to name a few of her clients. So we're sitting down this evening with Naiomi. I'm reading, as you can tell, I'm reading this from your description now. Mhm. So we're sitting with Naiomi this evening, and we're going to pull back the curtains of what's really turned her passion into content, and we're going to hear all about Naomi's journey. So what inspired her, what's her innovation, and her future plans. And the final question that we ask at the end is a message to your younger self. So that's my intro of what I know of you. You're going to tell us fill in more of the details. So go for it. Hello, Naiomi. That's a little bit of introduction of yourself.
Hello, Beverly. Hello, ladies. Well, I mean, you've pretty much done a snippet of me, myself, and I. So, yep, my name's Naiomi Wilson. I've been doing media since 2017. And it started off with Carnival Slayers. I felt like there was a gap in the market for a platform like what I've created. I'm a very much a carnival enthusiast. Um, I've gone to a number of carnivals around the world, and you know, I had at that time I had an operation on my knee, and I was on some downtime, and I thought, oh, just sort of trying to get some ideas. I wanted to do something that was carnival related. I was kind of getting fed up of seeing the same sort of content over and over and over. And, I wanted there to be a lot more visibility of, fluffier women, um, plus size. When I say fluffy, plus size women, thick women, the girl next door, the girl that you wouldn't normally see on a platform that looks amazing in her costume, maybe some men, maybe some kids, that sort of thing. So I kind of wanted a platform that showcased everybody, be inclusive of everyone, light skin, dark skin, whatever, including the celebrities, including the socialites, the influencers, those models, those types of people. I wanted everyone on one platform. And, for me, it was important to just be able to have the opportunity of showcasing everyone under one roof, really. So it started off with that. And in the first sort of 6 months, well, I think after a month, I realized, sorry.
Oh. No, she's coming back. She said, sorry, I think something's coming on her device.
Yes, that's it.
Your
God.
last word, you realized.
Right. Okay, I'm back. Hallelujah. Because your mic is right. Yeah, I'm back on board. Right.
Yeah. The last word was you realized.
I realized, like, after probably about a month, oh, I really do hate using my phone for meetings. My my daughter's iPad, for some reason, is playing up. It's still saying prepare a meeting. So this is why I'm using my phone. So apologies, everyone. Um, I realized after probably about 3 weeks that I was onto something, because I went from 0 followers to like over 1,000 followers in 3 weeks. I was like, oh, people actually like this. Then from there, it just went from strength to strength, and then I was covering like um the bands who are getting prepared and ready for Notting Hill Carnival. I then started to showcase, carnivals internationally that was happening in the Caribbean. So things like St. Vincent was on the list, St. Lucia, all those carnivals. And it was just sort of, reposting everyone that looked amazing in their costume. And then I think we got to September and we was on 10,000 followers. And I was like, wow, um, that was growth. And it was a surprise because I didn't expect it to take off so well. Um, I should have mentioned, I was in Grenada that year and I was doing sort of live coverage there from, Juve. um, to actually on the road at Carnival and going live on occasions when the internet wasn't playing up, of course. But yeah, it was all about capturing everything in the moment because I believe that's what people want and need. And even more so now, because where social media was back then to where it is now, people are very impatient on social media. People want to see things immediately as it's happening. So the fact that I actually tapped into what is now considered quite a trend back almost 10 years ago, it just means that, yeah, I had that vision from a long time ago, and I just wanted to be determined to make sure that we continue with that and keep to that level and that standard. So after obviously Carnival Slays had taken off and kept on growing, during COVID, obviously there's no carnival, is there?
The dreaded COVID. That's the licks up to a lot of people's
Yeah,
fences. Go ahead.
yeah. So now trying to think of ideas because we don't have any carnivals to cover.
Mm,
And people were being creative in their bedrooms, in their living rooms, and putting on carnival costumes and doing content that way. But it was like, still want more, still want to, do something else. And then we started covering sort of swimwear, um, not just within the Caribbean, but just in the fashion industry. If anyone looks great in their monokinis, bikinis, whatever, we were covering it because there was a lot of swimwear lines that was coming up as well that I was really liking the look of. So I
okay.
made sure that we were capturing that as well. So we're still giving people content, still being out there, being visible. And then we were doing like live streaming with interviews with soca artists,
Right.
comedians. We even had, I think that year, the CEO of Notting Hill Carnival on our platform. So those were the biggies. And then because of that visibility, we even had like interviews with one of the presenters from BBC. What was it? Gosh, what is it now? BBC Live, or one of the BBC radio stations. And for us, that was like, wow, that's a milestone because it was like, I don't know how they found us, but they found us. We was like talking to someone from BBC. So it was like, oh wow, this is amazing. So whilst all of this was still carrying on in the background, Slay Your Experience was like in the process of being built. And in May of like 2021, I decided, you know what, I want to start another aspect of a media business, but it's still incorporating Carnival Slayers in there as like an entertainment entity. So with that being said, we thought going down the model route, having models um, on our books, getting bookings. We thought maybe even creating a media service for people that want to do video shoots in their house or in their garden or wherever they want. Because that was something that people was tapping into during COVID because they were doing it themselves. And it's like, well, there seems to be a thing. People actually like creating content in their homes and dressing up. Why not offer that as a service? Obviously, we've got photographers that do that naturally, but videographers, not so much. So I thought, let's tap into that. Let's have the models and let's see what we could bring. And for probably the first 6 months, 9 months, it was a bit of a struggle in terms of like getting people to actually understand the concept of what we were doing and what we were trying to build. And then about early 22, I decided to add the photo booth into the business element because I thought I needed something else, not just that. So I thought, okay, so I bought myself a 360. I saw it as a trend in America. It always starts in America, these things. I saw the trend in Atlanta more specifically. And I thought, you know what, I like the look of this, but I'm not a very, believe it or not, tech savvy person. So even though I'm quite good with regards to social media, algorithms, that sort of thing, I am not tech savvy. I'm not tech savvy at all. I usually get help from, usually male friends of mine or cousins and say, look, I'm struggling with this. Could you help me? Because I'm just totally, when it comes to tech, it goes over my head and I kind of learn as I go along. And I thought to myself, I'm not sure how this is going to play out because this is entering into an arena that I'm not really too familiar with, because then I have to get used to knowing how to use Apple products. And I'm not an Apple person, I'm an Android person. So I
Android.
did have these early challenges and I was like, oh my gosh. So I was kind of relying on friends, the tech savvy ones to kind of help me push this along. And the same with, with regards to the photo booth, the 360, then it's about the process of purchasing it, then setting it up, then marketing, getting yourself out there. And yeah, it took off. I think within the first month of purchase of the photo booth, we had about 3 bookings. So yeah, people were excited about it and I kept pushing from there, and we are where we are today.
Okay. I see Anita's got her hand up. Go for it, Anita. You got a question.
I'm behind time. What is a 360?
Oh,
So a
brilliant.
360 is basically like a camera that is on a platform, part of a platform, and it goes round. So you stand on the
Oh
platform, and then
yes,
the
I've
camera goes
seen
around
it
you.
at my cousin's, and you play music. You just
Yes,
stand there.
No, you're
yes,
supposed to
you literally
dance,
stand there.
Anita.
We
Yeah.
do
I've
like people
seen
to
it.
move about a little
Melanie's wedding, her birthday, and we all had to dress in white, and she dressed in the color she wanted. They had something like that, and you go on it and you play music, but it looks like everybody's winding up themselves.
No,
Yeah,
you.
So
okay.
bless your cotton socks. So whatever you're doing on it, Anita, the camera's just
If,
going around.
if people
Oh,
are feeling very
listen, this is why I
adventurous,
come on here to learn something every day. I get in all. I'm not as young as I knew, apart from sugar.
All right.
yeah,
Well, that answers
people
your question.
if
Go.
people feel adventurous on a 360, yeah, I mean you can dance on there, but you got to take time because it is delicate equipment. I often have to
Anita,
remind people it's okay
Anita,
to move, it's okay to dance, but it's the upper body. It's all about the upper body because that's mostly what's getting captured. You don't need to jump, you don't need to,
oh no.
do any turns and twists and do the moonwalk. You don't need to do any of that. You just calmly, gracefully, just relax and enjoy the moment. Be creative as much as you want. It's all about the upper body down to the waistline.
Okay,
That's what I
Anita,
say.
I've just sent you my latest 360.
Oh, I was gonna say. So let me
Yes, I've
ask you.
just seen it. You look wonderful.
Oh God. Anyhow, you two. Um. So before you got into this, was you always in media and content creating? Was that what you did before?
No, I just kind of fell into it actually. I created my account on Facebook back in 2007. So it was when everybody started jumping onto Facebook. That was like the first sort of social media that we had. And then I did have a Twitter account back then, which would have been about 2008, 2009, but people wasn't so familiar with Twitter back then. And I was like, I'm the only one that's on it. So I kind of shoved it to one side. And then in 2013, that's when I jumped onto Instagram. So it was more from a personal perspective, but I didn't know what to post. I wasn't very creative. I didn't really, know much about media in that sense. But I think gradually, as media has evolved, I've just become, yeah, I guess learnt along the way and got better at it. So
So
now
in your
I'm who's also behind the lens, as well as working with people who have been doing this for decades.
yeah. So what kind of so you said like you started with Carnival Slayers first,
Yes.
right? So Carnival Slayers, what was the you said so you was capturing behind the scenes and you said the costumes. What can you think of what some of your early content was like I don't
With
even know what
Carnival,
question. What was your
with
early question?
yeah, so with Carnival Slays, it started off by reposting mostly. So
Okay.
it was like more of a reposting platform. Um, and it was just like if we came across some content or someone at Carnival, you know, we'll repost it and we'll try and think of quirky um captions, um have a themed day. That's something else that we used to do. It was just basically just tapping into what I felt was missing on social media when it comes to representation of um our community, but also Carnival. And it's
Mm.
about teaching people more about the culture, because people just seem to think, oh yeah, it's just about wearing a fancy costume, isn't it? And
Okay.
dancing up and whatever else. But you know, there's a bit more to it. It's about celebration of our freedom, isn't it? So I wanted to ensure that my platform kind of covered all those bases. And, you know, again, I'm very big on representing for the children. They're the future, because if they don't play maths at their young, tender age, who's going to do it moving forward? How's the future of Carnival going to continue? It has to be from the kids. So I wanted to have representation of children as well. So sometimes I'm a bit, sometimes a bit cautious in posting children, because, you know, it's all about parental rights and all of those sorts of things. There's a lot more red tape around it. So with children, it's usually kind of like if someone makes a request or sends us content, then we'll repost it. Or if we're working with a band that has children, then we'll do the content, and obviously all the permissions and everything has been certified, and we showcase those kids on the platform. But yeah, for me at that time, it was really just about bringing something new to the table, reposting, showing love to the individuals, because that's another thing that we were doing and still do today is, you know, we tag the person, we let them know that we're celebrating them and how
Mm,
amazing or inspiring or gorgeous they look in their costume.
mm,
Um, so it started off like that predominantly, and then it moved on to us actually being the content creators, working with content creators that would do reviews on events or be going to a carnival representing Carnival Slayers across the world, working with international videographers, photographers. So now we've got moved away from, you know, just reposting, and the majority of our content is content that if it's not us that's created it, it's someone that we're working with that's created it.
okay. Go for it today.
Yeah, sorry, I had to put up my hand because I cannot actually see any of you. I can hear everything, so I wasn't sure, couldn't see where the pause was coming or anything. But
Oh,
Naomi, what would you say? I pick up that it's like because you were doing things live, it caught people's attention more, and
mhm.
that you were tagging people. But what if I asked you? I'm asking you directly. What do you think made it really blow up?
I think probably just by giving our audience something new. People who are carnival enthusiasts were coming onto our page and excited to either see one of their friends being showcased or themselves being showcased, or someone that looks like them being showcased. Because what was happening at that time is that you barely saw women who are plus size on platforms similar to mine. There were platforms that that started before Carnival Slayers. Some of them, they've fallen off, they don't longer exist, or they don't post anymore, or whatever's going on there. Some of them, they're still there, but we've like gone past them in terms of numbers. So there was Carnival platforms. This is what people also need to realize. They did exist.
Yeah,
They just
yeah, and
wasn't
that's why I
doing
asked
what
you
we do.
why did Carnival Slayers, shoot off
Yeah,
whilst everybody else was going? But yes, I get it, because you're more human
yeah, we
rather
pushed the
than,
boat out.
yeah.
You could say we were like, yeah, we're we're being unapologetic in what we're representing on the platform. So sorry, a reminder or something. Yeah, we were really like pushing the boundaries. We would showcase a plus size woman who's a size 20. We would showcase a man, and not just a man with a six pack, but the dads, the dad bodies. um but not only that, also the fact that we was also showcasing carnivals that people didn't even realize had a carnival. Like, I think it was around maybe 2018, we had content that was coming from a carnival in Italy. Like, who even knew there was carnival in Italy? No one, you know. So when I say we were being very unapologetic in our mission, we really were, and people recognized it, and people wanted to send us our pictures. We had so many pictures to showcase. Sometimes we didn't have enough time in the calendar to kind of showcase everyone. It was kind of like, okay, now we need to sort of look at the quality of the pictures that are coming in. And some people, unfortunately, didn't get reposted, not because they didn't fit the build or anything that we was looking for. It was more to do with the quality of the photos. But then it also applied pressure on people to now think, okay, I want to be on Carnival Slayers' platform. I need the perfect picture.
Oh wow.
Okay,
And
maybe
what made
not
you
so much
put that as a
perfect,
name?
but close to
Yeah, but
perfect,
yeah,
because not everyone's going to have a photographer in front of them.
yeah.
But we've all, in our friendship groups, we've all got that one friend that takes a great picture.
That's me.
I'm usually the friend, by the way.
What gave you that name as an idea, Carnival Slayers? Where did that name actually come from?
You know what? It's really funny because at that time, Beyonce was really heavy on the slay, slay, slay. There was all this slay thing. I think it was like a trending word at the time. And I thought, you know what? It just came up so randomly. I was trying to think of, should I call it island something something, the typical cliche. Um, and I was like, no, I want to use the word carnival as part of the title, but I need something that really goes with it. And I didn't want it to be a platform that straight away, once you hear or see the name, you then identify that with a black person.
Mm,
And even though, like, at that time, especially, well, it was before COVID, so it was before, Black Lives Matters and representation, and you know
mhm,
seeing more of us and that kind of thing. It was before that kind of era, even though it was still around, but not as predominant. It was more
mm,
predominant after, George Floyd sadly passed away, and all these things, in terms of the importance of representation in these sorts of spaces. So I didn't want it to be obvious. Oh, it must be a black person. It must be a black company. I didn't want it to be so obvious. And I also didn't want it to be obvious that we were British.
mm,
Everyone, even to this day, a lot of people think it's an international platform. They don't know it's actually based here in the UK.
mm,
And the word slave was a big thing in America more than it was here.
mm.
So
Is that
that was how it came about. So it was Beyonce, the word slave being a trending well, I guess it's a trending description because it's how you describe someone, they slay. So
Mhm.
I just thought, add the ERS at the end. I'm like, yeah, Carnival Slayers. It's got a nice ring to it. I think that really works. I think that's really cool. And then I got my friends, opinion on it. What do you think? What do you think of this name? And that was it. Everyone was like, yeah, I think that sounds really cool. And then we just ran with it.
And then you ran with it even further and went to slay in your experience. So
Yeah.
Carnival
Now, I'll
Slayers
be
or
honest with the
slay your
photo
experience?
booth business. I'll be
Yeah.
very honest, okay? Because it was meant to be, um, the main focus was models and being an entertainment package with the models. So that was the main emphasis at that time. And then I kind of had to change the business model, and then we added obviously the photo booths and all the other bits and pieces into the mix.
Okay.
If one of the things I am considering is changing the name.
Oh, okay.
I don't think in my opinion Slayer Experience is very fitting towards the photo booth business. In my personal opinion. So I am thinking about changing the name slightly and yeah,
Okay. So you
see
said
what happens from there. Oh.
okay. So you said okay. So you've been around since 2017,
Mhm,
pre-COVID. So then COVID
mhm.
long, so there wasn't many carnivals going on. So when Carnival did come back, how was the momentum still there? Well, obviously because you're still here, but how did you get back into the swing once it's like you can go outside?
Um, how did we get back into the swing of things?
Hmm.
We it wasn't like we had to get back into the swing of things. We was consistent all the way through. From the time the prime minister said, right, we're on lockdown, for me it was business as usual. I
Okay,
just carried
okay.
on.
Remember the photographs at home and her being interested in swimsuits and the modeling, the video shoots and that sort of thing.
So that just kept the fire burning.
Yeah, yeah, it pretty much did. And then we had like a couple of bookings during COVID where you're allowed to have like small gatherings, and there was like small events that wanted to incorporate our services with the models. So we did a few of those during lockdown.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, that was really cool. But it also helps, yeah, people that was missing Notting Hill Carnival, it helped a lot.
So, because when Carnival came back, because I go Carnival once in a blue moon, and it just when it did come back, and I ventured down there, it was a lot for me. I think I still got PTSD from that Carnival. I don't think I want to go back to Carnival. But what was it like for you going back into the Carnival settings? Because it was like people that weren't normally was outside. It's like everybody was outside when it came back. What was that like for you? I mean, yeah, that reuniting with the Carnival community outside.
You know what? Because I kept the work going online, and the fact that we was doing small bookings where we was incorporating Carnival, I don't really feel like I missed much.
Okay, okay.
Um, when it came to being outside and it was like the first time on the road, I think what year was that? That would have been what, 22? Because we
Hmm.
didn't have no carnival
Yeah,
for
or
the
21,
yeah, yeah.
2022. Yeah.
Yeah, 22 was when we was outside.
Yeah.
And it felt great. It was exciting, but I don't know. I was just cool. I didn't feel like, oh my gosh, this is like a massive milestone. It was just, I just got on with it. I think it's because I still stayed very relevant and
Yeah.
current, and I was doing carnival activities and I was being creative with it as well, because during lockdown when we well, in 2021, when they said, okay, you could do things but in, you know, small gatherings and not exceeding certain numbers or whatever, I was then doing like different live streaming shows. We were doing things like, I think we did Caribbean cooking. We had a series
Okay.
where we had like a presenter, the chef, and it wasn't like Master Chef. It wasn't Master Chef or anything like that, but it was basically having a chef that specializes in a particular cuisine. I wanted it to be associated with certain islands, and I think we started off with Grenada. So we did the national dish, oil down. Then we had, you know, something from Trinidad for those. In fact, the first episode, I think it was Trinidad because it was Trinidad. It would have been Trinidad Carnival that particular weekend. So we got in contact with Hassan Defoe, who is a very well recognized chef. Got in contact with him about coming on board with this project. We had Martin J as one of the presenters. And yeah, it was like we were cooking hearty food, you know, and we was also giving it that whole carnival spill, talking of, you know, a bit of storytelling involved as well, and all those things. And I think because we did a lot of those things, and it's only now looking back, I think to myself, oh wow, we actually did quite a bit. That to me, it was business as usual. I didn't feel like, oh my gosh, there's like a whole 2 years we haven't had carnival and I've been missing it. But what I would say is it also fell around the time that I was also COVID also was around the time I was on maternity leave because I had my second child in 2019. So I was already out of carnival anyway, because I unfortunately didn't have my snapback game on point that year. So the possibilities of doing carnival now, I wasn't happy with the way I looked. So there was no chance. So for me, it was actually 3 years I had no carnival. But I did still go to Notting Hill with the kids, you know, and yeah, we still went to see the carnival costumes and catch up with people and stuff like that. I still took them to Notting Hill Carnival that year in 2019. But yeah, for me, as a masquerader and a passionate one, I didn't do carnival for 3 years. So it was almost like, did I kind of get used to it? Maybe I don't know, but I
So
just
you
didn't
used to
feel
be out
like
there
I
in
missed something. Too.
you used to be out there in costumes as well. I thought,
Yeah, always. Yeah.
Naomi,
Hmm.
you sort of started off as us off in 2017, but what foundation did you have to be videoing and looking at photographs and investing in the 360 booth and all that sort of thing? What is it? Just you just went into it, or you somewhere along the line in your younger employment it opened it
I
up for you?
Yeah, okay. So in terms of like my professional career, I actually started what 30 years ago in real estate. You know, I was in working in property. Well, I'll say 25 years, not 30 quite yet. Right. So about say 25 years ago, I was working in property and I was working in property for quite a long time, like over a decade. Then I went into working in transport. And then while I was working in transport, I just moved from role to role and went to a senior management position. I did project management. So along the way, I had gained a lot of transferable skills. So skills in sales, marketing, project management. Then I fell into events management.
Oh
So I
wow.
did a couple of events, like yeah, well, a few events in 2007. So 2007, 2008, 2009, I was actually doing events. Um, and I had I, I don't know. I just had a feel for the entertainment side of things. I was also working with a company that did events every month. It was like every second Friday of the month. So I was involved in that elements of things as well in terms of the promotion scene.
Oh, so you had good foundation to start off with.
Yeah. So I had all of that. I had contacts. I made. Okay, no, not yet. Could you give me 20 minutes? 20 minutes, please. Please, thank you. Okay, in 20 minutes. Thank you.
They be trying you in meeting mode, eh? Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I pre-warned everybody, so everybody should know the assignment. But anyway, moving swiftly
That
on.
means nothing.
It's like, so in the end, what was I saying? I lost my train of thought.
So we were just talking about your foundation and
Right, foundation. So yes, I did get, get into entertainment promotions. I did a couple of events myself. I actually did an event that I was very proud of at the time. We got over 300 people ice skating to soca. We took over the Queensway ice skating rink on Boxing Day in 2008, December. And I was like, wow, people actually really wanted this. It was crazy. And again, when I think about it as well, that was 2008. And to get 300 people in 2008, especially for an event that's never been done before, people were skeptical. How are you going to be whining and ice skating at the same time? Yeah, people was very skeptical about it, but the numbers did not lie. So I felt like from there on, I wanted to do something extra on not just doing the 9 to 5 day job. I wanted to do something. I wanted to leave some sort of, I guess, legacy, so to speak, something that I could look back on, something for the kids. And yeah, I guess I had it in me. I was always a go-getter from a young age anyway. As I was saying to my son most recently, because he's currently waiting for his GCSE results, I said to him, when I was when I was younger, when I was in his position, I was working in Burger King at 15. As soon as I got my national insurance card, that was it. I wanted to go out and work. I wanted to earn some money. I wanted to buy my own things. I didn't want to depend on my parents. Oh, could you lend me money or whatever? So I've always been a go-getter anyway, from a young age. Um, so yeah, that's the foundation.
Where would you say your ideas actually come from? Where do you get most of your inspiration from? Just a light bulb moment, or
Most of it is a light bulb moment. I don't know. Sometimes I even think to myself, how is it that I get these light bulbs? It's just sometimes it's a light bulb moment, or I see inspiration on something on television or something that's online, and then I think, what if I did this, or do I spin on that? But because my thing is, I need to have my identity in whatever it is that I'm doing. I'm not somebody that, as they say, what's the saying? Um, oh gosh, when someone copies you,
like a
what's
wagon? Jamaica we say wagon is like
sheep.
jumping on bandwagons.
Jump on the bandwagon or the sheep. Just everybody's following what everybody else is doing. There's
yeah, there is
originality.
that, but it's oh my gosh, I've got brain fog.
I really
I'm
wish
trying to
I
think.
could see
Whenever it comes to you in
somebody.
that spark, whenever it comes to you, just spurt out the word. Don't.
Yeah, it's just like, when
Jennifer
people take
suggested
inspiration from you. Yeah,
emulate. Uh,
yeah. There's a
Jennifer says emulate. Is that the word you're looking for?
no, no, it's an actual saying. Yeah, you know, um, it will come to me probably after this interview.
And then they still let us know. And
Yeah,
I'll paste it
Yeah,
in
so for
the
me,
video.
I've just never been about jumping on bandwagons. You know, it's about being the leader, not the follower. I've always been very much about that, which is why I said, you know, big up to those who were before me, but there were other carnival platforms before me doing their thing. I just thought of doing something a little different, put a spin on it, and away we go. And here I am, you know, of the grace of God. I mean, there have been struggles. It's been tough, but we're still trying, we're still here, and I hope people still believe in the brand.
Okay. That's where you are right now. So what's the future looking like for, well, we know that Slay Your Experience name is gonna change, but what's the future looking like for
Yeah. So Slayer
Carnival
Experience definitely,
Slayers.
I feel, needs a rebrand. So that's definitely something that's on the cards, rebranding Slayer Experience. In terms of Carnival Slayers, I don't know. I am happy with what we've achieved to date. Obviously bigger and better is what we want. We want more, a bigger team, maybe do a lot more carnivals. Maybe the next move is to have a certain content creators in certain locations covering carnival on our behalf, because one of the struggles is people want to work with us but they can't afford us. And when I say they can't afford us, I mean arranging the flights, accommodation. Well, not so much accommodation, but the major thing is arranging flights for myself to be out there to produce the work that I do.
Mhm.
The most, I mean, we get a few, don't get me wrong. We've had the luxury of working with the Antiguan tourism a couple of times where they've like said, yeah, we want you to cover the carnival, come out, let's do this. Um, this year I'm working with a mass band in Barbados. So I'll be flying out to Barbados next week, Wednesday, doing content. I would also be going to Holland over this weekend, again, doing the same thing, doing content. So we do get these beautiful, wonderful, amazing jobs, but it'll be amazing if we could get even more. But I think for me, in order for us to get more of those types of work, it would mean having people who are based in the Caribbean that represent Carnival Slayers.
Okay,
That's
okay.
that's where I would like to see us.
So a lot
Hopefully,
more collaboration.
yeah. So then
Yeah.
it's not a struggle for someone to say, oh, someone from Grenada to fly over, someone from Trinidad or someone from Barbados to come over to cover things, even events in between carnival.
Hmm.
So
What kind of
that's
events?
what I'd like to see us.
What kind of events do they have in between carnival? Just to enlighten someone who might not know what the carnival scene might be like, because most people, when they think carnival, they just think people on the road parading in costumes. What other things goes on within carnival, behind the scenes, on the run up to carnival?
So, um, in the downtimes of when there's no carnivals taking place, you've got fetes, or also known as, you could say, raves, you know, club nights or club events or day parties, that kind of thing. So in the carnival Caribbean scene, we call it fetes. So those need coverage. Those events need content, they need exposure. And you know, we work with people that want to advertise on our platform so that, you know, we get more of a reach, get more bums on seats at the event, that kind of thing. So you have a lot of events that do take place
Okay.
outside of carnival season. But of course, during the carnival season, loads and loads of events. Sometimes you could have like 10 in a day. Um,
Wow.
in certain countries, like Trinidad, you definitely easily could have 10 in a day or more.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you was to give some advice to your younger Naomi, coming up and coming, what would that advice be in terms of the trajectory that you've taken? What would you tell young Naomi?
Um, I would like I would like to think of something inspirational and positive, but I think in my journey, because of certain struggles and certain things that have happened, sometimes your younger self needs to know about the negatives as well. So I will think of something positive, but I think starting with something negative and what I wish I knew before and what I would tell my younger self is not everyone is exactly what they make out to be. You know, people will let you down. People will betray you. You know, unfortunately, that does happen. And it's sometimes the people that are doing these things are your nearest and dearest. You know, you may not have the same friendship groups, you know. I never knew that until it happened. You know, when I think about, you know, the last couple of decades, I'm like, wow, you know, especially when Facebook memories come up, you know, you're like, damn, we used to be so close, we used to be so tight. And now look at us, you know. But I think with that, how it relates to business is that I think once you're on your trajectory and you're moving up, you just, unfortunately, you're going to lose people.
Yeah, yeah.
And I wish someone had told me that. So then I, at least when it happened, like I knew I would have known how to deal with it better. And I didn't. So that's what I would tell my younger self. Now, in terms of something a bit more positive, I would say just keep persevering. But then I don't think I was ever someone that ever stopped persevering. But during challenging times, there were times that I wanted to give up. And I think resilience is key. But I don't think it's something that's ever left me even from a young age.
Uh,
No, that's great advice. That is
Thank
super.
you. That is great advice.
I can take that on board.
As I keep saying, I can't actually see anybody, so I'm going to ask this simple question. Naomi, was it us that met at Fisherman's birthday?
Mhm,
Yeah?
mhm.
Okay, thank you. Anybody's like, all right. Excellent. Thank you for joining us.
No, thank you. Thank you for the invitation. So I really appreciate it. And you know, I think it's amazing to see a group of Black women who, you know, have a platform like this, who, you know, wants to showcase inspiring women. You know,
Yeah,
we don't see it often enough. So yeah, I really commend you all on this project.
thank you. And we know, like it's a slow burn at first, but I'm it's a passion. Because you know, there's so many people, even just within our little circle. There's so many people out there doing things that people are not aware of, and I just feel like now it needs to be seen. So yeah. So when we do blow up like you'll be so busy. Sorry, you want to say something, Anita?
So I've been to Notting Hill, I've been to a carnival in Birmingham, and I've been because I live in Grimsby. And so I went to Leeds for Carnival. And when I went to Leeds, it was in my wheelchair. And that was the best carnival I've ever been to. I didn't think it could beat Notting Hill because when I lived in London, it was Notting Hill every year. But Leeds was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. When you look back, or you're doing now, what would you say is the best one you've ever covered?
In terms of carnivals I've attended,
Carnivals, yeah.
um, I think my favorite, oh gosh, um, my favorite carnival, is Miami and my
Oh,
and Grenada. And the reason why Miami, well, we are going back a bit, so we are talking about a decade ago or so. I went through a phase where I was going Miami every year. Um, and it was just an amazing carnival. You know, it's even though it's in a stadium, but it was just the music, the DJs, you know, they just knew, they understood the assignment. It was just a vibe. Everyone is just really nice. Everyone's having a great time. And it just added a different type of euphoria. So for me, it was Miami. I think I've never done any carnival for like 12 hours on my feet non-stop and still dancing.
that's
Wow.
why
Didn't
I'm
want to
in a
go home.
wheelchair.
And didn't want to go home. Even after 12 hours, didn't want to go home. We could have carried on going because it was that good. It was really, really good. Now, the other carnival that I've been to the most, I would say back in the day, I would have said crop over Barbados, which is where I'm going next week. I
Mm,
haven't been in Barbados since 2009. So, you know, that's a long, long, long time ago. But
Mm,
I've had some amazing, amazing times in Barbados. So that was always, you know, quite dear to my heart. However, not being biased, but I think it's quite you know, it's been confirmed of recent times that Grenada, as I say, has the best mass by far, meaning it's
ah,
got the best carnival. And it's really nice to see that everyone is embracing the Grenadian culture, the music, everything about Grenada is amazing to see. I haven't been to Grenada since 2018. I was due
mm,
to because I had my baby in 2019 and then we had COVID and I was due
mm,
to go in 2020 but then had to cancel because of COVID and I haven't actually made any attempts to go since because it's so
mm,
bloody expensive. But
mm.
Grenada, yeah, it's definitely for me when I think about it overall, and in most recent years of carnivals that I've attended, I would say Grenada by far is
mm.
the best one, is my favorite.
Okay.
I
Alrighty.
know I mentioned three, but hey.
Well, it's hard. It's a hard category to just nail down to one.
It it
Every
is, but they're all in different sort of
yeah.
eras or
Yeah.
you know, decades and things like that. Because Barbados, we're talking early 2000s. Um, when we're talking about Miami, we're talking about, you know, sort of like 2012, 2013, and then obviously Grenada in the later years. So it's different segments of where I've done certain carnivals and had the most amazing times.
Do you
Mhm,
go
mhm,
to Brazil or something like that?
No, I have never been to Brazil, and I'll be honest, it's not really one that's on my bucket list. But if someone
Mm.
wants to sponsor me to go to Brazil, I happily attend. And the
collaborate
reason
from the
being is
center.
because what attracts me to certain carnivals is music. It's
Mm.
music, and I am very passionate for, you know, soca music. It's my first love in terms of music genres. So it's difficult for me to think about going to somewhere like Brazil because there's no soca.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
But I do admire their, you know, their costumes and
Yeah.
how they put themselves together in preparation and that whole celebration, that whole duration of time, because their carnival goes on for a lengthy time. I do love all that. And funny, we do cover Brazil on our platform as well. We have
Because
some Brazilian samba dancers that would tag us in things. We do
Mm.
cover it. We
Okay.
don't cover it as much as the others, but you know, where there's an opportunity, we see something that we like, yep, you know, we'll showcase it on the platform.
But Italy has no soccer.
No, they don't. But I guess at the time there was maybe a DJ that might have gone over to Italy to
Uh,
play the music. I've
Um,
never been to Italy for Carnival, by the way. It was just that people that were taking part. in that carnival that year, they were just tagging us in everything, left, right, and center. So yeah.
Jennifer is inquiring about New Orleans. Have you made it there?
No, but I heard that they've got like a festival. Is it sort of like this time of year or June or something?
Okay.
No,
I
I've
don't
never
know.
been.
Because I only know, well, I don't know, but I visualize the funerals are quite carnival orientated, aren't they?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I think I've seen some things flash up on the timeline, but yeah, I don't really know much about it.
Okay.
Can I ask you one last question before
Well,
we?
that's solemn, isn't it?
What's that?
I'm talking about funerals.
Oh no, that's you country people. Funerals are a celebration of life, and that's what the New Orleans thing is, the jazz band and everything going down
Oh,
the road,
right. Okay.
costumes.
Before this question goes out my head and I forget what I was going to ask. The question was, where is the most obscure place that has carnival that you thought, oh my God, they've got carnival here? Yeah.
I'm thinking
uh,
Japan.
I don't know. I actually really don't know. But I guess from um, let's say my mother's perspective, I remember when Berlin Carnival was a thing. We're talking what early 2012, 2011, 2012. Berlin Carnival started to come up,
Mhm.
and I was attending that every year. My mum was like, "Huh? They have a carnival in Germany, in Berlin,
Mhm.
like Hitler." She mentioned Hitler, and I'm like, she said Hitler would be turning in his grave if he knew what was going on. Like, okay. I mean, yeah, Berlin. I mean, they love the culture a lot. Like they don't do Berlin Carnival anymore. That's like stopped, unfortunately. I think their last one was probably 2019, because then when COVID happened, everything went, left, as we know. Um, but they do have like Munich. I think they've got a festival in Munich, but in Munich, Germany. So that's taken off. They've got loads of parties, and it's very
Just so
Caribbean, um, you know, infused in the Caribbean culture. So that's happening. But yeah, back in the heyday, um, who would have thought that Berlin, Germany, especially
mm,
with the history, would have a carnival? And not
mm.
only have a carnival, they're having the parties, all the Caribbean parties are eating Caribbean food, and they are flying in Caribbean artists to perform.
Wow. How the world has changed, we would like to think.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Do you think I've kind of covered everything there? Is there anything that you think we've left out from our Q&A that you wanted to highlight about what you do? Have we covered everything, do you think? That's what I.
Pretty much say so. I think it's worth mentioning that obviously with Slay Your Experience, we are not just a photo booth business. We are a media and entertainment company. We provide many types of different services, from LED letters and numbers to decor, event management. We've got DJs on our books, models on our books, cocktail girls on our books. We have got an immersed business. We do not every single thing, but if there's a service that we haven't started providing yet and someone inquires about it, we'll do our damnedest to find someone that is willing to work with us. And if we feel like there's a business need for it, then yeah, we'll incorporate it into our packages.
Now,
Um,
Naomi, what area are you in? Not that it really matters since you travel around the world, but what area are you personally
I'm in
based
West
in?
London.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. And,
Mhm.
and we do all events, all different types of events, from promotions to, sorry, event nights, festivals, weddings, christenings, funerals, parties. We do it pretty much all.
Excellent.
Best way to get in touch with you is for your Instagram. Is it for your Instagram or?
Yes, Slay Your Experience with an X. There's no E in experience with us. It's X. So it's Slay Your and then X.
Yeah,
And then
I think I linked us up on Instagram already. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm just
Yeah.
telling Fluffy Chick.
No, this is just
Well, send me a DM so we can follow you back, because sometimes we do get like quite a lot of DMs about different things and some things get lost. So yes, do send us a DM so then we could add you and follow you back.
Excellent.
And yeah, you know, Carnival Slayers is the other platform. We're on all platforms. With Slay Your Experience, we're mostly on TikTok. We've got over 10,000 followers on TikTok. We're on TikTok, obviously Instagram and Facebook.
Excellent. Okay, I think we've come to that stage. Like I said, I'm sitting in front of a blank screen, so I can't see if UK Fluffy Chick is trying to signal me.
No, I'm not trying to signal nothing. Everything I've got to say, I'm saying it verbally because you've already said you can't see nothing. So I'm not doing anything obscure.
No, I'm asking you a question.
So
ladies, would you be having this interview on your socials? Where would it be for
It
people
will be on YouTube, Naiomi. So we'll send you the link for you to see the end product.
Okay, lovely.
Okay.
So just so you know, because you know, we like to keep it very raw charge. So we don't do any editing, no fix up and polish up, pretty up, nice up. It's just what you see. Oh,
is what you get.
So yeah. So once the video is uploaded to YouTube, the link will be sent to you. You can share. It's there. We put all your links in your YouTube description as well. So before we go again, any events coming up? You said you're going.
Yes, I'm going to Rotterdam this coming weekend, and then I come back to London and then off again to Barbados for crop over.
All right, so those are your two key events.
Wow, you're a busy lady.
Anything in the imminent future locally that you know British people can attend? Myself
must be. I feel like our summer is going to be ending internationally, so we've got a few bookings, but you know they're mostly private bookings.
Okay.
Next month is nothing here. Where else you want to go?
Only Notting Hill, really, and everyone's invited to that.
All right.
Yes.
All right, so that's it. I'm not going to ask no more questions before your children have to come and pull you out of the room.
Oh, so, yeah.
That's a wrap, Sugar.
That's a wrap. Thank you very much to Naiomi, Anita, and Jennifer on this session. Thank you all for
welcome.
Okay, thank you
very much.
Thanks.
Take care, ladies. Thank you.
All right.